What is happening, sports fans? It's your main man, Matt, rocking it solo from the DFS 5-pack. It is Tuesday, September 14th. We have 12 MLB games to discuss. Hopefully everyone is feeling good after a fun week one of NFL. Still stinging off that Browns loss, but again, getting back out there next week. Hopefully we're ready to go against Houston. I see we're like 12-point favorites. It's a little excessive, but hopefully the Browns take care of business. That said, we got a full MLB slate last night. Unfortunately, Yu Darvish was not it. Absolutely crushed me. I multi-entered a little bit, not a ton. I used Darvish in every line. He was not good. He was just awful. Second start out of his last three that he has just gotten lit up. He got lit up by Arizona a couple starts ago as well. So I'm hesitant on Darvish. I'm still a big believer in his stuff, but man, he does not look right now. He does not look right now. So going to have to definitely take the wait and see approach on him. That said, we got a fun slate tonight to talk over, so let me screen share this and we will dive in. All righty. So as far as pitching goes, I mean, top dog by a mile is Garrett Cole in a great spot in Baltimore against the Orioles. Coming off a rough one against the Blue Jays. It happens. Like him to bounce back here. He left that start hurt. Yeah, I mean, he's fine. If he wasn't fine, I doubt the Yankees would be pitching him here. He's the top option by a pretty good margin, and he looks like the ace in all formats. I don't think he's like the must of all musts, but I like him quite a bit. Giolito also back from the IL. Just not sure they're going to really push him. That said, the matchup is elite. The Angels are awful. I mean, Darvish's only good start out of his past three was against this Angels team. They are not good. I think Giolito's worth looking at here. I kind of like Montas slightly more. Close spot. I like Giolito's spot slightly more, but I'm a bigger Montas fan. They're averaging about the same DK points per game. So is Barrios, actually, which is interesting. I'm a Montas fan. I'm a fan of his stuff. I don't love the spot for strikeouts, but Kansas City is not good. He's not going to get a lot of ownership. He's definitely on my short list. Barrios at home against Tampa, much better home pitcher than a road pitcher. That said, he's been really good 2 out of his past 3 on the road. Was also really good at home against Oakland. In great form right now. We saw what Manoah did last night against a weak Tampa Bay lineup. The lineup will be better tonight. I'm sure Brandon Lau and Rosarena will be back in there. Barrios is also in play for me, though. I think Giolito, Montas, and Barrios are all definitely worth looking at. They don't stand out like Cole, but I like each of them, and their ownership is not going to – none of these guys' ownership is going to be high because you've got Cole, and people are going to want to afford expensive bats. Moving on down, Eovaldi. I've been impressed with Eovaldi this year. I've become more of an Eovaldi fan, like, as time goes on. Pitching well right now. Seattle's not a spot I'm afraid of. I lump him in right with the Barrios, Montas, Giolito crew. I don't think you can really go wrong with any of those guys personally. Marcus Stroman, I'm not looking to spend that money on Stroman, who's just, not as good of a DFS pitcher as these other guys. Luke Weaver, not in that spot. I mean, Zach Greinke, I don't hate it. The spot's good against Texas, but why am I going to go to Greinke when I got these guys just a little bit more expensive? That said, they are more expensive, so he's a discount off those guys. If I'm going to take the discount, I'm going to probably go cheaper than Greinke. Descafani, nah, he's not pitching great right now. I just don't trust him against a, not amazing Padres lineup, but they're not bad either. John Gray, he was good last time out before getting into some trouble against the Giants. Not the spot I want to use him in Atlanta against the Braves. Kyle Gibson getting quite a bit of love. It makes sense. I view him as kind of like just a cog in the machine type at 8,100. Certainly not excited about it. I mean, he doesn't strike out a lot of guys. He's not pitching great right now. The matchup's good, but other than that, I mean, there's not much to love about him, especially when he's chalk. Cash games, I like him more in cash games, I'll say. And I don't hate him in tournaments because, like I said, you need an SP2. Gonsolin, no thanks. Tyler Anderson, no thanks. I like some Boston bats. Touki Toussaint, don't hate it. Again, didn't pitch well in Colorado against the Rockies, but, I think Blackman hit the grand slam that game. And the Rockies are just much, much better at home. With Gibson and, Fetty, who we'll get to, and Luzardo getting a lot of love, I like the pivot to Toussaint in tournaments. Not that I feel great about it, but I don't think his chances of success are that much, are that different from those other guys. And his upside's just as high, if not higher. So I'm interested there. I mentioned Fetty. I mean, the spot's just really good. Facing the Marlins at home. I'm not a big Fetty fan. I don't think he's that great. He's had some good starts this year. He was actually pretty good last time out against Atlanta early on. Atlanta was like chalk that slate. I love when, a guy who people wanted to pick on the last time out are now chalk. Like, that is definitely not for me. I'd be more interested in using some Miami bets against him. I don't think this is a slate for it. If it was a smaller one, it would be. But Fetty, I get the spot, and he's really cheap. But that's probably a place I'll get different in tournaments. Lyles, no thanks, not in this spot. Rasmussen, no. Luzardo also getting quite a bit of love, and he was good last time out against the Mets. Yeah, I mean, he's very hit or miss. We know his stuff is legit. He walks a ton of guys though, so that can get him into trouble. Nothing else. He can be really good, but walking a bunch of guys gives up a big hit. It's 6,300 in this spot. I get why he's getting love, but this is another one. Like, I'm more interested in some Washington bets against him, I think. Not that I ultimately end up there on this slate, and I get why he's getting love. He's so cheap. I'm just not sure I want to pull the trigger. He is cheap as hell, though, and his upside at that price is real. I mean, you look at the guys priced around him. Aside from Toussaint and Fetty, Packy, no thanks. Jake Woodford, no. Samson, hell no. Wells, definitely not. Arrieta and Coar, I mean, no. So if Coar were in a better spot, I think we could maybe take a look at him. He's got good stuff. Not trying to use him here against Oakland, though. So, man, if I'm making one lineup right now, I never mind using different offenses. So, ideally, I can spend up on two pitchers. Man, I'm not sure where I want to go as of right now. Let's just go Cole and Toussaint. I feel decent with that. Tournaments. All right, so let's talk about some offenses. So with the Yankees coming in as overwhelming chalk, and for good reason, a lot of the other good offenses on the slate aren't going to get a lot of love. And Philly's one of those teams, and I like Philly here. Adrian Sampson sucks. Cubs bullpen is not good. This team is very stackable for me. Real Muto, dual eligibility, one of the better catcher options on the board. Segura's expensive, which will keep his ownership down. You got Galvis and Gregorius in the middle of their lineup. And then, Bryce Harper, Herrera, and McCutchen. I like Harper a lot here. Seeing the ball really well right now. Just check the game log. Double digits in 5 straight and 6 of 7. McCutchen, Herrera. I like this team as a stack. If I'm one-offing, Bryce Harper's obviously the top dog, then Real Muto. But I like this team as a stack. The Cubs, I don't mind picking on Gibson, but I just don't know if this is the slate I want to use the Cubs. That said, Ian Happ, who really struggled at the start of the year, has been awesome recently. So 3,800 as a one-off, don't hate it. Yeah, Happ is a guy who stands out for sure. I mean, Schwindel's cheap. He's been good. So, Schwindel, Happ, Contreras, don't hate it, but really Happ's the guy that stands out to me. And I might get to Happ as a one-off. I like that call. All right, Miami and Washington. So I mentioned this when we talked about the pitchers. Like, this is a classic. I can make the case for both sides, for all 4 sides of this game. Luzardo, Fetty, Miami, and Washington. I think that Fetty on paper stands out. The Marlins are not very good. And I guess Luzardo. I don't feel great about either of those, though. In tournaments, I'm likely to play the ownership game here or just avoid it. So that's how I feel about this one. And I will say, if Luzardo is getting love, that Washington stack's appealing. I have to wait and see what their lineup looks like. It's not going to be very good no matter what, but just something to throw out there. Okay, so now we have the Yankees against the Orioles. So chalk supreme, Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole's not even getting that much love, but the Yankees are getting a ton of love, and Cole's going to be around 40% owned, projected at least. That's in the lower dollar stuff. I imagine the higher dollar you go, the higher owned Cole will be. As far as the Yankees go, big win for them yesterday. Came back and then beat the Twins in extra innings, almost at overtime. Wrong sport. So, yeah, the Yankees, I mean, they're the best, the top stack on the board on paper for sure. Their outfield looks great here. Judge, Stanton, Gallo, all elite plays on this slate. Gleyber Torres has been okay recently. He's obviously very cheap, both first baseman, Rizzo and Vogt, excuse me. LeMahieu, yeah, this stack just looks elite. I think in cash games, you want 4 or 5 Yankees, and in tournaments, I don't think you fade them just because they're high owned. Just know that if you use them, you probably want to get different elsewhere. That's all I'll say. As far as the Orioles go, nah. I mean, I'd rather take a shot on Washington, Miami if I'm going to pick on a chalky pitcher, I think. Tampa and Toronto, excuse me. I tried to combo Barrios and Toronto, and that did not go over well. So the Tampa side, not interested. Barrios in good form right now. I mean, they got good hitters, so if you want to pull like Lau's day-to-day, so I bet he plays today, but we'll see. Not really looking at hold on one second, guys. Okay, sorry about that, guys. So, yeah, I imagine Lau will play. If you want to pull one off or two against Barrios, I get it, but I think there's better spots on this slate, personally. As far as Toronto goes, facing Rasmussen, who, I mean, he's been pretty good. Not that, I'm afraid to pick on him, and I think that, Toronto's always in play when they're going to be low owned. But because of the Yankees ownership, a bunch of these offenses are going to be low owned, and Toronto, again, they're always in play. I don't think I'll get there tonight. Man, though, when you see these guys not getting love, it's enticing. I mean, Teoscar rolling right now. I mean, red hot. Lourdes, red hot. I mean, these guys are absolutely raking, and they're not going to get love. So talking about them makes me want to use them, even though I don't think they're in some crush spot or anything like that. But it's the freaking Blue Jays, and they're not getting any love. I mean, that's it. All right, Cardinals and Mets. Jake Woodford against Stroman. Cardinals were very good last night. I did not use them. That hurt. Not really looking to pick on Stroman. He's solid, so not really a guy I want to stack against at all. Woodford, I mean, I'm not going to use him here, but I'm not excited about the Mets. I actually don't think he's crazy. I mean, at all. At 5,900, Mets aren't really a stack I'm interested in, though, personally. All right, Braves and Rockies. So, John Gray against Tukey. Talked about how bad Colorado is on the road. That said, they have played okay recently. I know that Story homered for me in a big way against the Philly bullpen the other day after Zach Wheeler left the game. He might have homered off Zach Wheeler, actually. Yeah, he did. They've been okay recently. I know that Garrett Hampson had a monster game on Sunday. Tukey is not impervious to getting hit by any means. And if you want to, plant your flag on the Rocky stack, I don't hate it. The ballpark's not as good as Coors, but it's not a bad ballpark. I like the Tukey side more because I need a cheaper SB2, but the Rocky stack isn't the craziest thing in the world. I'll say that. I mean, if there was a spot to use them outside of Coors in Atlanta, is not a bad one. The real intrigue for me here comes from the Braves side. John Gray, who I actually used last time out against the Giants at home, was pretty good until he got hit late. I kind of like the Braves here as a low-owned stack. You know, Gray can be very hit or miss. Actually, one of these guys I think is better at home. Much better at home. So worth noting for sure. Again, not a great pitcher's park here. The Braves lineup stacked. I don't think they get much love at all. They're not even that expensive anymore. I mean, Riley is and Freeman is, but Duvall, Soler. I mean, these guys are cheap. So Atlanta stacked definitely on my short list for sure. All right, Houston and Texas. So Houston was big last night. I was on Houston. Fortunately, Darvish kind of ruined that, but Houston is in play again today. I mean, Jordan Lyles, we've seen him be very hit or miss. He was good last time out and the time before against Colorado. Got absolutely rolled the time before that against Cleveland. Houston's really good. The bottom of their lineup came through in a big way last night, specifically Jose Siri, who's still 2K. I mean, he's been really good. I imagine he'll be right back in the lineup. Not that this guy was like raking in the minors or some elite prospect, but seeing the ball well right now, I imagine he's right back in the lineup. The Houston stack surely in play. Bregman, who I wrote up yesterday as a hard recommend in all formats, came through for us nice. He's just too cheap. I see no reason why we can't go right back there. Altuve, same thing. And these guys all sat in like the 6th inning yesterday because it was a blowout. So they're rested. Alvarez homered twice yesterday. The Houston stack wildly in play. Given the ownerships, I like them more than the Yankees. They're going to get love, but not nearly as much love. The team that looks like they're getting a lot of love paired to the Yankees is going to be the White Sox. So we've got Giolito against Packy Naughton. I'm not interested in the Angels against Giolito. If you want a one-off Shohei, do it. I mean, one of the best hitters in baseball. Never will argue with anyone wanting to use him. Chicago's really cheap in a good spot against Naughton, though. You got Eloy at 3,700. Makes a lot of sense. Luis Robert. Abreu at 42. I mean, that's just crazy. I'd use, he's the cash game guy, even over the Yankees. Looks like the clear cash game bill is White Sox and Yankees. Let's check out ownership real quick. I want to see just kind of where these guys are coming in. So actually Vogt and is coming in as the highest owned above Abreu. I'm not sure I see that. Abreu's so cheap. Urshela and then Bregman at 3rd. Higashioka is going to get a lot of love at catcher. Outfield's what I wanted. All right, so yeah, all the top guys: Judge, Stanton, Gallo, Jimenez, Robert, and then a couple of Houston guys. So yeah, the White Sox look like a clear cash game pairing. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to fade them in tournaments, but in their ownerships, there's just other good spots I like. All right, moving on ahead to Oakland and KC. So we've got Montas against Jackson Kowar. I'm a Montas fan. I'm not really looking to pick on him here. I mean, on a smaller slate, if you were like chalky, okay, you could make that case, but that's not tonight, and I'm just not interested in that. I'm much more interested in actually using Montas. And then the other side of it, though, definitely in play for me. Oakland's not going to get a lot of love. Not a great ballpark, but this lineup is just awesome. Kowar is a guy with a lot of talent, but he's young. We've seen him get hit around, and I wouldn't be surprised if that happens tonight at all. So, yeah, interested to see if Crush makes the lineup. But the usual suspects for me, Matt Olson's a portable, crushes lefties. He's hot right now. I was going to say on fire, but not quite. I hope Chapman's in the lineup because crushes lefties. We'll see, though. If he's not in the lineup, it makes it a lot easier to stack them because they'll be cheaper. Starling Marte, Kanya. I like this whole team. Oakland's definitely in play for me as a tournament stack off of like the Yankees and Astros. Giants and Padres. Desclafani against Arrieta. Arrieta sucks. So anytime Arrieta's on the slate, I think you can make a case to stack against him. Probably more mini stacks, though. Yastrzemski, he's in a good spot. I mean, these lefties. Listella, 2,900. He homered last night. Lamont Wade is cheap as hell. I definitely could see filling in with some Giants here. Yeah, they make a lot of sense for me. And as far as the Padres go, not really interested. They've been very uninspiring, and Desclafani's more solid than spectacular, but not really a guy I want to go out of my way to pick on, especially in this ballpark. So no thank you. Couple games left. We got the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers. Luke Weaver against Tony Gonsolin. I've always been a fan of Luke Weaver's stuff. Never really been able to put it all together. He's in pretty good form right now. Wasn't great against Texas. That was a spot he was chalky. I liked some Texas bats. They came through for me on that day slate. He's obviously not in play at 9K. It's just a matter of how much you like the Dodgers. They're in play. Turner's still under 5K. No reason he should be so cheap. A lot of good third basemen on the slate, but he's certainly one of them. Corey Seager, same thing. Cog in the machine type. Mookie Betts, if you can get up there. I have no problems with the Dodgers. And they can win any slate they're on. Just not really sure they stand out to me over teams like the A's and even the Giants. Certainly the Astros, obviously the Yankees, but then like the Phillies, who I like, and the Braves. Phillies and Braves are two teams I like quite a bit that I don't think are going to get any love. Then we're going to get to another one I like a lot, actually, that fits right into that Phillies and Braves mold. And that's the Red Sox, facing Tyler Anderson. Anderson against Eovaldi here. As far as Eovaldi and the Mariners go, not interested in the Mariners. I like Eovaldi. I could see using him. I do like Boston, though. Tyler Anderson, he's a guy I never mind picking on. More solid than spectacular, but when he gets hit, he gives up power. The Red Sox have a ton of power. Rafael Devers at 5K, homered late last night. No one will use him in a lefty-on-lefty matchup. Bogart's under 5K, coming off a nice game last night. Boston's high on my short list here. Iglesias even came through for them last night. Looks like he might be trying to claim a starting job there. I like the Boston stack quite a bit. They're in play for me up and down the lineup. Obviously the main four, I'll say, are Devers, JD, Bogarts, and Renfroe. We'll throw in there at 4,200. I also like Kike, so that's a nice 5-man right there. And then Verdugo lefty on lefty, Schwarber lefty on lefty. This lineup is very stackable for me. I like it quite a bit. That's what I got for you guys. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Obviously, the day after Monday Night Football, a little bit slow, but we got 12 MLB games ready to crush it. Yeah, if you want more content, more videos, more me, more Ryan, go check out the DFS 5-pack. We'd love to have you. Week 2 of NFL coming up soon. We're going to crush it. Videos will be coming out on the daily, and appreciate you guys as always. Have a great Tuesday night.